Okay, so good afternoon, students. We will start the next topic from the unit number two, that is called as a layout mechanism. Okay, so very easy topic actually. So layout, what is the meaning of layout? How do you want to get it onto the screen? Means whatever the components you are adding. So how do you want to present it onto the screen? Okay, so that is called as a layout mechanism. So there are some layout managers are used to arrange the components in a particular manner within the container. So I have this container, so this window is there. So how do you want to represent it? Okay, so I have prepared these buttons. I have prepared these check boxes, these combo boxes. So like this, I have prepared all those things. Okay, but how do you want to arrange it? You cannot put it randomly, right? Some arrangement should be there. So how do you want to put it onto the screen, or where do you want to represent it? So okay, every time your presentation matters. So how do you represent yourself, or whatever you have prepared? Suppose you have prepared one dish, how you are going to serve it? Okay, that serving of the dish is also very important. So that is your layout mechanism. How do you want to present whatever you have prepared? How do you want to arrange it onto the screen? So whenever you want to make any GUI, that is user friendly, it should be right. So if it is more user friendly, or if it is very easy to understand, suppose I have put it all these things randomly over here. That home button is here, design button is here, review button is here. So is it possible for you to understand? So how do you want to use it, and how are you going to apply those things in our applications? So that becomes very difficult, right? Suppose if you have any page in front of you, okay, and you want to fill that form. Okay, suppose simple basic form is already there, name, address, and all those things you want to you are supposed to fill. Okay, for admission you have come to the college and you have to fill that form. So in that page, suppose I am putting name over here, okay, the address over here, the father's name is over here, how much percentage you got for the 10th standard is over here. Suppose I am putting all those things randomly, so there is no sequence at all. So it will be very difficult. Okay, you will get irritated to fill that form. So the arrangement, suppose name, your full name, so first name, middle name, last name. Okay, then your address. Then you are supposed to want to collect the percentage for their 12th standard. So that the 12th standard, then 10th standard. Okay, like that. Then when which year you passed out. So all these things you are collecting. So which languages do you know? Where are you from? Are you belong to the Maharashtra state or out of Maharashtra? So like those kinds of things, suppose you want to collect. So there should be some sequence, right? I cannot ask these questions or cannot get the information in a random way. So that is required in your layout mechanism. Means those things we can do it with the help of layout mechanism. So it it facilitates us to control the positioning and size of the components in the GUI form. So till now we have seen how to set the bounds and all, right? So where we want to keep it, all those things. So we, by the help of set bounds, we used to put it over there. Okay, so from the left side this much, from the top from this much, the size of the container or size of that component should be this much. Like that we used to do positioning and the size of the components in the GUI form. So Java AWT provides five types of layouts. Okay, there are basic five types of layouts in the AWT. Just a minute. Okay. Okay. So uh, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. So the Java AWT provides the five types of layout. So first one is a border layout, then the flow layout, the grid layout, card layout, and grid back layout. So this question will be there obviously. Okay, so prepare this question very well, because only the one point is there, and there has to be one question related to this, and very easy point. Okay, so 5 marks easily you will get big with the help of this layout mechanism. So the layout manager is an interface that is implemented by all the classes of layout managers. Now let's see one by one. So first, let me start with the flow layout. So by default, whenever I'm saying that set visible is true and the set layout null. Okay, null means what? By default, or the uh, whenever not opting any layout option over there, then by default the layout is a flow layout. Okay, this is a called up as a flow layout. So flow layout is the default layout manager for every JPanel. So it simply lays out components in a single row, starting a new row if its container is not sufficiently wide. So it will just keep putting into that container. So suppose I want to arrange something in my cupboard or in my bag. So what we will do? Just we will put all the clothes into that container, right, one by on top of each other. So same way over here, it's they are just putting button 1, button 2, button 3. So it will start from the left side and it will end up to the right side until that window finishes. Once the window is finished, so it will go to the next line. From there again it will start with the next button. So button 5 if it has finished, button 6, button 7, button 8, button 9, button 10, like that. So that is called as a flow layout. So we are not specifying anything. So by default, if it is a layout, so it will just start from here. You can see it will just start from the left side. It will keep going on till the end of this window. Once this window gets over, it will start from the next window. Okay, so like this. So that is called as a by default layout. How we used to write. Okay, that is the way to generally we write from the left side to right side corner, right? So the same way it is a flow layout. That's why it is called as a flow layout. So it is a default layout manager and it simply lays out the components in a single row, starting a new row if the container is not sufficiently wide. So once the container gets over, suppose my frame size gets over, so it will go to the next slide and then the next buttons or whatever the container, whatever the components you are putting over the check boxes, combo boxes, it will start with the new row. Okay, that is called as a flow layout. And then the next one is a border layout. Okay, by the name itself, you can understand border layout places components in up to 5 areas. Okay, so they have specified the border layout in the 5 areas. So top, bottom, left, right, and center. All extra space is placed in the center area. So what will happen? It will start from the top, bottom, left, right, and it will come at the end. It will come at the center. Okay, so it looks like a border, right? How we used to put a border for any image or if you have written anything. So we used to keep the border for that, right? So how the border will be? It will be at the top, it will be at the bottom, then it will be at the left side, then right side, and then it will come at the center. Once the border is done, you will start writing at the center. Okay, so whatever the extra space is there, after filling all those four corners, the remaining space it will be considered as a center. So button 1, so I will say that if I am saying the border layout, so button 1 will come here, then long named button 4, so that will be go at the end. You can specify. Okay, so which way you want or which place do you want, that you can specify, or by default it will be the top, bottom, left, right, and at the center. Suppose I have put 5 buttons over there. So the first button will go at the top position. Uh, second button will come at the bottom position. Third button will go at the position. Fourth button will go for the right position. And the fifth button will come at the center. Okay. So that is by default, but you can specify in that also. So that is called as a border layout. Okay. Is it clear? So whenever you are writing the names, if they have asked, just don't mention the names. Try to elaborate it. Okay, 5 marks. The question will not be for the only for the list out the names of the layout mechanism. So it doesn't mean that you have to just write the names. Okay, for each one you will not get one mark, right? So just try to elaborate it. So what is the meaning of border layout? Put this diagram over there so that will be easy for them also to understand. So whichever, wherever and possible, try to maximize to put with the diagrams or with the examples, try to elaborate. Okay, then it is easy for the examiner or that to give the marks. So always try to remember these things, elaborate it or put the figures over there. Then it is easy. So this flow layout we have seen. Then the third one is a grid layout. Okay. So grid layout simply makes a bunch of components equal in size and displays them in a requested number of rows and columns. So what they are doing, so it will get divided into number of equal size in the requested number of rows and columns. So I can say here that I want here, how do you we used to put, right, insert table. Okay, so how many number of rows I want, how many number of columns I want, how many number of rows I want. Okay, I can I can keep it, write it in my program, and according to that, so button 1 will be here, button 2, button 3, button 4, button 5, button 6, button 7, button 8. Okay, like that it will be there. So we can specify, so your whole frame automatically it will get divided into, because here I had asked for the 4 rows and 4 columns and 6 rows. So automatically the window or that frame got divided into 4 columns and 6 rows. Okay, and then whatever you are going to write, whatever you are going to create, it will be get displayed over here one by one. So there again they will follow the flow layout mechanism inside that. Do you understand? So that is called as a grid layout. Okay, so it will get requested into requested number of rows and columns and equal in size. So we cannot change the size of the button. Suppose I want a small size button, one size should be the small button, two sides should be the bigger one. Like that we cannot do in this grid layout. It will be of equal in size and displays them. So it will be like just like a your when you were small, there was a maths notebook, right? So in the maths notebook, just there will be equal size of number of rows and number of columns used to be there, right? So it's the same way, that is called as a grid layout. The grid meaning itself is like that, grid layout. Okay. Then next one is a grid bag layout. Some changes they have made in that grid layout. That's why the name is grid bag layout. Is sophisticated flexible layout manager. So in the previous case, we were not able to change the size of the buttons, okay, or the change the size of that layout. So all the buttons or all the things should be of the equal size, equal height and width. Okay, so the buttons which we will create all will be of the same size. Suppose I want to put this. Where I can show. Okay, suppose this calendar I want to make. So here all the things are of equal size. Okay, all are the same size of squares. So if I want to make this kind of GUI, then that will be fine. That if I am giving the grid layout, but I want to create something different. Like suppose I want to create the text, whatever you are keyboard ka GUI. Okay, so I want to make it onto the screen. So then spacebar size is different, right? It is not same as the other buttons, or enter ka button shape is different. Okay, so in that way I cannot put the grid layout over there. So I should go for the bag layout. Sorry. It is a flexible layout manager. It aligns components by placing them within a grid of cells, allowing components to span more than one cell. So I can put, this is a long name button was there. So I can see that the size of this button is bigger than these three buttons. So these button 1, button 2, button 3 of equal size. But this is of the little bit the bigger size. The rows in the grid can have different heights, and grid columns can have different widths. Okay, so the width and height of these buttons also can be different. So here you can see the button 3, the size was small. Okay, the width and height both was less, but the long named button, the height was also more and the length was also more. Even this 5 button, it is totally different. The width is same like these buttons, but the length is more than these buttons. So you can create according to your choice. So how do you want, you can prepare it. So that's why it is called as a grid bag layout. Okay, then next one is a card layout. Okay, card layout. What is there in the card layout? It implements an area that contains different components at different times. Okay, a card layout is often controlled by the combo boxes, with the set of combo boxes determining which panel or group of components the card layout displays. Okay, suppose like this. Uh, means what, suppose I'm this way we can say that these are the card layouts. So when I'm placing on the insert button, some different layout should open, right? Or when I'm pressing on the home button, so there are different buttons it should open. So when I'm pressing on the design button, it should, the layout should come like this. So for each and every tab, the layouts will be the different. Okay, so the tab panes, so these are called as a tab panes. So uh, though they are in the one container itself, they are having different shapes or different layouts inside one layout only. There are the different layouts, okay, which provides a similar functionality but with a predefined GUI. Okay, so these are the, it's like a card, how we used to play cards, right? So after once one I cannot open all the cards at a time, so at a time only one card will be open. So same way here, home button, if it is open, the other buttons are closed. Okay, I am not opening the other card layout, the layout. So when I'm pressing the insert button, this it will open like this. Okay, so for example we can say, suppose I want to create some different pages I want to open, right? In one page I want to get the information about your academics, okay, and in one page I want to get the information about your projects, means which projects you have done till now. So in one layout I will try to collect the information, means what was your pointer till now, how much intelligent you were, or how much consistent you were, I can say, till now. Okay, so if 10th grade was distinction, in the 12th also you got the distinction, in the first year you got whatever the first class with distinction, or first class in second year you got first class. So like that, how much pointer you had, so I that I can check with the percentile, your previous percentile. And so those were related to the academics thing. Okay, so that was my one card, one layout. And in the second one, suppose I am saying that, okay, go to the page 2. So there you have to fill the different type of information. So till now how much, means you get the knowledge in these things, but how much you have utilized it, or how much you have applied that knowledge. So those projects thing I can see, if I can see, so I can understand, okay, do you people were not only learning those things, but at the same time you people were applying also. Okay, so the PBL project got the first prize in somewhere. So your mini project has got some second prize in some, out of the institute somewhere you have participated. And there also you got the prize over there. So whatever you have learned, you have got some outputs also for that. So so the two things are different, right? They are not similar, but I want to get the information, both the information. So this is your card layout. So card with J button, so these are the button 1, button 2, button 3. So this is your academics, you can say. And these are your text fields button, so card with the J text field. So the two things are different, but you want to get the information for both. Okay, so that is called as a card layout. So these are called the tap panes. So if, so this is the same way I think we can say. So these are the tap panes, we can create different panes over here, and those are the tabs. Okay, we are creating different tabs. So these are basically different layouts. The five layouts are there. Just revise once again. The first one was the border layout. Okay, border layout. We can put the whatever the content is there in the five things. So the border, the top one, the bottom one, the left side, the right side, and whatever is there, the remaining is at the center. Okay, so all these buttons are coming at the top side. So whatever it is there at the bottom. Okay, so here this scroll bar or these things, small things are there. You can minimize it, maximize it. You can see the how do you want to put the slides, then how many slides are there. So this is my bottom line. Okay, so you can see the outline or the slides of this over and that left side. And the right side, nothing, just I have put one scroll bar at the right side. Okay, I don't want to give more information at the right side. So the remaining is at the center, that is called as a border layout. Okay, then the flow layout. So though I have divided into the top section, but inside that I want to put these buttons in the flow layout format. So they should come one by one, okay, one after another. So this we can say it as a flow layout. Okay, button 1, button 2, button 3, name button. Okay, then after that they should come down. So if there are more buttons over there, then we can display with the next line. So that is called as a flow layout manager, and this is a by default manager. Okay, so if I am not giving anything for that frame, how to put my buttons and all, by default it will put flow layout. I will show you also one example in the previous program we have done. Then grid layout. Grid layout means just get it divided into equal parts. Okay, I am not so specific about the rows and columns of height and width. I just want to get the thing divided into the number of rows and number of columns. Then we can say this is a grid layout. Okay. Suppose your calculator, if you want to make, so just you want to put the numbers over there, right? 1 2 3 4, so 5 6 7 8 9 and 0, plus minus, so you can put all of the same size also. Then I can see that is a grid layout. Or suppose you want to show the visible this calendar. Okay, January ka calendar, so all can be of the same height and width. Then those types of things we can make it as a grid layout. I don't want to make any changes for any column or any height or width. I don't want to do any changes. Then this is a grid bag layout. So if I am very specific about something, like no, I want that this button should be the bigger than the other buttons, or this thing I want to make it wider size or wider height and width. So then we can go for the this grid bag layout. Okay, sorry. So here you can see these buttons were of same height and width, right? But here if I am coming, here if I am coming, so this font size is different. So this check boxes or this combo boxes, it is different. So this new slide, I want to make put the bigger picture over there. I want to make bigger image over there so that it will be easy to understand. But for the cut copy format painter, the size was same. Okay, so like that, suppose you want to make it more user friendly so that it is easy to understand, then you can go for the grid bag layout. And the last one was the card layout. Okay, so it's like a one by one cards we are opening. So first collect the means whenever you are filling the forms, right, there will be some next buttons used to be there. Yeah, so in the first page they will collect the your general information, that name, address, your parents name, mother's name, mail id, phone, and all those things they will collect. Okay, in the second page they want to collect some other information like your academics kind of thing. Okay, where did you study from, where you belong to, which languages do you know. So all those things they will collect. Okay, and the third thing, what are which are your interests, which are your hobbies and all. So where do you look forward in your future? What do you want to, means I want to be or something like that. Suppose you want, if they are asking questions, so those kinds of thing will be in the third page. So they are collecting information related to you only, but there are different zones or different parameters they are considering. So in that way, we can say that is a card layout. I'm trying to give maximum examples, okay, to understand. So this question will be there for sure. So learn these layout mechanisms very easy. And yeah, as I told you, there was one question we had created some buttons. See here. So here we had not defined which layout we are using. New flow layout. Okay. So their layout was flow layout, so by default it was like if we have not mentioned also, it would have been flow layout only. So what is the meaning of flow layout? They will come one after another. Okay, so the buttons which we have created here three buttons: button 1, button 2, button 3. For the first button there was no label. For the second button, some click here name we have given. And for button 3 also we have given the name button 3, but the style, the format was different. How to give the button name, we have given the dot set label we have used. Okay, so that the what I wanted to focus on, the new flow layout it was, so it had come just one after another. Okay, so this was the first button, second button, third button, because I did not specify anything. Okay, set bounds also I have not given. So where do you where I want to keep. Hmm? So you, all these things you will understand when you will come here and you will try to perform some practicals. Okay, so I can set the bounds over here. and then I can say that set layout null. Okay. In all previous programs, whatever we have done, we have set the layout null only everywhere. Here flow layout only, but that was again null only. F set layout null. Okay. So it will not generate any error if you are writing, but whenever you want to see the output of that program, that time it makes sense. Okay. Suppose I am writing here something like button is a grid layout. Suppose I would have written here the grid layout, and I can specify that how many buttons, how many number of rows, 2 by 2 cup I want. Then it would have been like that first button here, second button here, third button here, and the fourth button here. Okay. So it is required when you want to display the output. Okay. How do you want to present the output? That time it matters. But while writing the program, if you say whichever the layout, that doesn't matter. Okay. It will not affect the running of the program. Okay. Anyhow it will run the program. Only at the output side your results will be different. Okay. Uh, that's it.